What's going on, everybody? It's Nick Barkley with Barkley Outdoors, and today we're going to do a bit of a bow hunting gear breakdown. So let's get at it. Alright guys, so first I'm going to go through what's actually on me, and then we're going to cover all the different parts of the bow and the arrow and stuff like that. So first, as you can see, I've decked out pretty much everything that I've got in the Kuiu Verde 2.0. This is their regular Bino harness. They also have a pro version that has a little more features on it, stuff like that. It's really nice, it's soft, it is really comfortable to wear. On the back, it's got a nice strap set up to where, you know, even when it's loaded down during turkey season, I've got calls and, you know, strikers and stuff like that in the sides. It doesn't get in the way for either bow or rifle, and it's quiet. This material is really quiet, and it's also pretty dang waterproof, though it does come with their own little rain poncho, which is kind of goofy but also kind of a nice feature. So what this is hiding, I have some Vortex Diamondback 12x50s, and especially during the mule deer hunt last year in western Kansas, phenomenal binoculars. You can look through them for a really long time and not get a headache, so that's always a bonus. So really good glass, I love those. The one goofy part about this whole harness system is that the only thing that holds it on is this cap going over. So as soon as you release that cap, that falls free and like down to your waist, which you're not going to lose your binos, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a hindrance. It's kind of goofy. We'll see if they fix that in the future or come up with a slightly different system. I don't know. Comment below if you guys run something different and what you like about it. I'd love to try something else out if there's something else better out there. So next up, got the trusty Rangefinder. Also, corn camo. It was a corn camo kind of year last year. And in here, I've got the Vortex Ranger 1300. It goes out over 1,000 yards. Variable, you know, accurate within like 1/10 of a yard out to 500, and within half a yard after that, or something similar. Phenomenal rangefinder. This one lights up red when you look in it. I'm sure most of you have these if you're watching this, but I can't recommend Vortex stuff highly enough. Whether it's cold, like really cold, or really rainy, it always works. It's always clear. And maybe I've just had good luck, but they've been phenomenal for me. Alright guys, next up is my release. So I shoot a Spot Hog Wise Guy. And they make a couple different versions of this. They have the buckle release, and then they also have the one like Cam Hanes shoots with the boa system, which is pretty slick, but I'm a simple guy and fairly new to archery within the past few years, so I'm fine with buckles. It works just fine. It's really silent to the touch when you brush up against stuff. And they also make a version with this. This has the micro adjust down here to where you can really fine tune on these teeth where, you know, where's best for you when you pull back to get that perfect trigger pull. Adjustable trigger, and it is, you can get this thing feather light to where a lot of people use it as a freaking target release. I don't like it that light, especially when I'm wearing gloves out hunting. I'd hit it and not even know it. And again, might just be a me thing, but I prefer it's just still really light. But I've got it dialed about halfway out on the set screw. So phenomenal release. One of the benefits of this one, as opposed to the ones that have the string in the middle that just kind of flop around, is that it doesn't just stay out there. If you're doing something, climbing a tree stand, and you don't want it knocking every peg on the way up, you can push it to the back just like that, and it stays up and out of the way. So you, whatever you're doing, getting broadheads out, arrows out, taking the backpack off, it stays out of the way, but it can still be on the wrist, so you can get ready really fast. So I love this release. A couple years in now, and I've like oiled it once, but it is phenomenal. Breaks clean every time. Alright guys, now we're on to the breakdown of the gear that I have on my bow. And so we'll start with the bow itself. This is a 2019 Hoyt Helix, and it has the ZT Pro cams, and it's got draw stops top and bottom, and pulling 70 pounds. So I've got the 70-pound limbs, well, 60 to 70s, and I've got them, you know, dialed all the way down. I think it's 70.5 pounds right now. And it is in the Kuiu Verde 2.0, all aluminum riser, 29-inch draw. The sight is a Spot Hog grinder, 5-pin, and it is so easy to adjust up and down. I just went with a basic sight. A lot of people are going to these, you know, these dials and everything, but you know, not going out west all the time and just being a whitetail hunter out in the woods and going and shooting hogs occasionally, having pins from 20 to 60 yards pretty much fits all of my needs. And with practice enough, I feel very confident out to those distances. So real easy to bolt on here, all aluminum, no plastic, and plenty of lighting. I have the .019 size pins, and they diminish to the .010s at the bottom for the bottom two pins, so that when you're floating around out there, you're not just seeing a lit up dot. You can actually see what you're trying to focus in on. Next, we'll go to the rest, and this is a Hamskea Hybrid Hunter Pro. It's a fall away rest with the whale tail down there, and you know, I had the guys at the shop set this bow up because I didn't have the knowledge when I bought it, and every pro that I've talked to, every tech that I've talked to says that this is a really easy rest to dial in on Hoyts. This is pre-dovetail. This is still, you know, bolt through, but they said it's easy to adjust and install. We've got the micro adjust on this side, and I love it. It does exactly what it needs to. Hot, cold, wet, dry, all of it. So next up, we'll go to the stabilizer, and this is I believe it's a 12-inch Fuse something Pro. I don't remember. You can get it on the shelf anywhere. It's nothing special. It's just got, you know, it's got the same wrap job. It's aluminum with carbon inside, and then I've got 3 1-ounce weights out here. Seems to balance the bow really well. And then again, I've just got a generic woven fiber, you know, hand hold down there. All right, and on this side of the bow, we have the Hoyt lightweight carbon quiver. So this is a quick detach. You just unscrew that guy, a couple more. That slides out if you are doing a spot and stock, and once you get close to your game, you want to set it down, or if you're in a tree stand and you don't like to shoot with your quiver on. It's a fairly quiet, really lightweight system. It just dovetails in there and has one set screw. So it's not perfect. Most of the time, to this point, I shoot without the quiver on, but here going hog hunting here in a few weeks down in Oklahoma, if we do a spot and stock, it's definitely going to be on for follow-up shots or another hog, what have you. So doesn't really throw the lean off for me. I know a lot of guys have been throwing, you know, running counterweights to counter this, but it hasn't been a big deal, at least out to the distances I've been shooting. And it's, you know, it's silent, it's quiet, it is lightweight, so, and it holds the arrows, so that's the main thing right there. So no complaints from that. All right, guys, last but very much not least, my arrow setup this year. So this year, as you've seen in the previous video, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I made a big arrow switch this year. The original idea was to go really high FOC, but what ended up happening was just a heavy, bone-crushing arrow build. So I made the switch from the Easton Axis to the Easton 5mm full metal jacket, and this is the Legend series, and so it's just got a different color configuration, cool wrap that looks like it's an engraved gun, and yeah, so that itself is 12 grains per inch. We're running a 4-fletch medium helical AAE Stealth Maxes on the back. There's not one in here right now, but I will be running some nocturnal nocks. I've had Luminox break on me like freaking crazy, so I'm not going to be using those anymore. And up front, I've got a 75 grain half out insert with a 125 grain Kudu Contour Plus, and this is a single bevel monster. It won out in the broadhead competition that I had. Again, if you haven't seen it, go check out that video on Barkley Outdoors. And so flight over distance, accuracy, these things perform really well, and they are freaking sharp. So overall arrow weight, right now this is running about 15% FOC, and overall arrow weight is 592 grains. So, and this also flies well with the 150s, so that'll put me over 600 grains. Either way, this thing, it flies true and it punches into targets. So I can't wait to see how it performs this fall. We'll keep you updated. That's all for now. Let's get outside. Alright guys, here's the full setup. You can see how she flies.